After that, there was a huge fight, and everyone who disagreed with the daughter-in-law got caught in the crossfire. Paige's revelation about the missing $15,000 hit the Memphis family gathering like a bomb, her calm voice cutting through the cheerful holiday noise as she explained exactly how Diane had been systematically stealing from Connor's disabled brother's trust fund while everyone celebrated her as the devoted caretaker. The silence that followed her announcement was deafening, broken only by the sound of Diane's glass shattering against the kitchen floor. The discovery had been accidental. Paige had been helping Connor organize his brother's financial documents when she noticed discrepancies between the bank statements and the care facility bills that Diane claimed were draining the blank account. 3 months of careful investigation had revealed a pattern of fabricated expenses and diverted funds that painted Diane not as a sacrificing mother, but as someone exploiting her son's disability for personal gain. Connor's immediate reaction was defensive denial, his loyalty to his mother overriding the mathematical evidence spread across their dining room table. But as Paige methodically presented bank records, forged receipts, and documented lies about medical expenses, even Connor couldn't dismiss the systematic nature of Diane's theft from his most vulnerable family member. Howard's face cycled through confusion, disbelief, and rage as he processed that his wife of 30 years had been using their disabled son's money to fund her shopping addiction and spending habits. The revelation that their tight budget speeches had been manufactured to hide Diane's theft while their son received substandard care made Howard's voice shake with barely controlled fury. Crystal's attempts to deflect attention from the evidence by attacking Paige's motives backfired when Paige produced recordings of Crystal encouraging Diane's financial manipulation in exchange for personal loans that were Placian. Never repaid. The family's golden child suddenly found herself exposed as a willing accomplice in victimizing her own disabled brother. After that, there was a huge fight, and everyone who disagreed with the daughter-in-law got caught in the crossfire. The battle lines formed quickly and brutally, with extended family members forced to choose between maintaining their comfortable relationships with Diane or acknowledging the uncomfortable truth about her criminal behavior. Paige's uncle by marriage made the mistake of suggesting that family business should stay private, only to find himself confronted with detailed evidence of how his silence enabled the ongoing abuse of a disabled man who couldn't defend himself. Diane's sister's attempt to dismiss the theft as borrowing between family members crumbled when Paige revealed that the stolen money had prevented Connor's brother from receiving physical therapy that could have improved his quality of life. The revelation that family loyalty had been prioritized over a vulnerable person's well-being left several relatives speechless and forced them to confront their own complicity in the cover-up. Crystal's husband's suggestion that Paige was causing unnecessary drama during the holidays earned him a brutal takedown, as Paige systematically destroyed his credibility by revealing his own financial dependence on Haid. Diane's stolen funds, his mortgage payments funded by money meant for disability care, made his moral outrage laughably hypocritical and turned him into a target rather than a mediator. The family's longtime friends who tried to defend Diane's character found themselves confronted with documented evidence that contradicted years of lies about financial struggles and medical expenses. Paige's methodical destruction of Diane's victim narrative left these supporters looking foolish and complicit, forcing them to either admit they'd been deceived or double down on defending criminal behavior. Howard's eruption at his own brothers for suggesting he should control his daughter-in-law created another battlefront as Paige's accusations spread beyond Diane to encompass everyone who had enabled or ignored the theft. The family gathering transformed into multiple simultaneous conflicts as alliances shattered and hidden resentments exploded into open warfare. Connor's moment of choice came when his own mother demanded he choose between his wife and his family, apparently forgetting that his disabled brother was also family and had been the primary victim of her crimes. Connor's decision to support Paige and press charges against his mother sent shockwaves through their extended network, forcing cousins, family friends, and longtime neighbors to publicly choose sides in a conflict that had escalated far beyond private family drama. Those who continued defending Diane found themselves ostracized by community members who couldn't stomach the idea of supporting someone who stole from a disabled person. The legal proceedings that followed created additional casualties, as Page's evidence implicated several family members in what prosecutors termed conspiracy to defraud a vulnerable adult. Crystal's attempts to distance herself from her mother's crimes failed when investigators discovered her own financial benefiting from the stolen funds, leading to separate charges that destroyed her marriage and career. Diane's attempts to maintain her victim narrative crumbled under legal scrutiny as forensic accountants revealed the full scope of her theft, which extended back nearly 5 years and totaled over $40,000. Her claims of financial desperation were undermined by evidence of luxury purchases and financial losses that painted her as someone who chose personal indulgence over her son's care. The extended family members who had attacked Page for destroying family unity found their own reputations damaged by association with the scandal. As their community learned they had prioritized protecting a thief over supporting her disabled victim, several lost friendships and business relationships as the moral implications of their stance became public knowledge. Howard's divorce proceedings and Connor's brother's recovery of stolen funds marked the end of a family structure that had been built on lies and exploitation. The fight had indeed caught everyone who disagreed with Page in its crossfire, but the destruction revealed a system of enabling and abuse that needed to be dismantled regardless of the personal cost. Page's willingness to endure family hatred to protect a vulnerable person had ultimately saved Connor's brother from years of continued exploitation. Maidie's of vulnerabilitation had won, proving that sometimes the most destructive conflicts were necessary to prevent ongoing harm to those who couldn't defend themselves. 2 years later, Connor's brother was receiving proper care funded by his recovered money, while the family members who had supported his exploitation remained estranged from those who had chosen justice over comfort.